go and sit 20 feet next to top producers, you're instantly going to increase your business, your production by 15%.
1,000%.
Instantly. On the opposite side, if you're sitting 20 feet from, those who produce less and whatnot aren't really putting in their all, you actually decrease your production by 30%.
Fact.
So instead of going up 15%, you're actually going backwards 30%. That's insane.
It's insane.
So when they say about pick your circle, choose your circle.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
All right, welcome to a very, very special podcast. My last podcast that I joined was with our good friend, I should say, Josh. He's a great guy. He actually put me in touch with Frank, and Frank's a great guy too. But today I want to give a grand entrance to a really good friend of mine. He's become a brother to me, to be honest with you. We've fucking traveled up and down Riverside and LA, showing homes and doing cool things. And man, I can't say enough good things about this guy, and he knows it. He's a really humble guy. But I just want to take maybe the first minute or so just to hype this guy up. This guy is a girl dad just like myself. He's a great husband to his lovely wife, Bree. Shout out, Bree, if you're watching this. That's kind of how we both linked up. He's a great family guy. He struggled his first 2 years in real estate, just as I did. And, but fuck him, we made it. And so, or we're making it, I should say.
Paid our dues.
And so, but nonetheless, Enrique's a great guy, man. And there's not enough good things I could say about him. I mean, I hope longevity wise, we have fucking great, successful careers. And I hope we both buy fucking matching rollies soon enough, right?
Yes, sir. Stay tuned this year.
But yeah, man, no. So before this is, he's a great guy, and he's going to be my co-host, I guess, for today, right? He's going to be our guest on the pod. But I want to give a quick shout to, obviously we do this for a reason, right? Promotional. June the Realtor, right? Not in a narcissistic way, but I'm over here building my brand. I'm working on building my branding, my marketing, and really trying to even build myself through this, man. I want to open other businesses in the future, but right now, June the Realtor is the main brand that I have right now, and I'm giving it my fucking all. So if you guys want any promotional gear, for example, I got keychains, I have stickers, I have hats, I have sweaters, shirts. If you guys, whatever you guys name additional that you guys want me to get, I can probably work on it and get it. So anyways, quick plug on that, but let's dive into it, man. Enrique, thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir. One hell of an introduction there.
I know, right? I tried.
But right off the bat, though, I mean, when we first met, that is one thing that kind of clicked, right? We started talking about our family right away.
Oh,
not our, because your daughter wasn't around yet when we first met.
No, not yet.
But that's all we talked about, family.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
It just clicked, man. Just clicked. Everyone's talking about money, this and that in the office. Like, what are your whys? This and that. We just kept it chill.
Exactly.
That's how we clicked.
And to be honest with you too, the other thing, I think one of the things we also clicked on was struggle, man.
We got to that too.
It's you have all these, you got some of the best agents in the game, right? And you're learning, and you're trying to figure out your footing too, because you're like, oh shit, our broker, shout out Carlos, he drives a Lambo. You look at Angel, shout out him. He has now he has a Cybertruck, but at the time Model X, right? So people are hustling, they're killing it, and then you're just some small fry in the.
Oh yeah,
you're the smallest. You're the smallest tadpole in a fucking big ass ocean, and some of these guys are sharks, man. So at first it's totally what's the word?
I would say not humbling, but eye-opening, man.
Eye-opening, yeah.
Eye-opening for sure. Because I come from, as you know, I've been in sales 10, 12 years, you know what I mean? And even then, I was working with other people making, good chunk of change, and then you come here to where we're at now, and it's just wait, what?
Dude, it's
what?
It's crazy, because when you look back, I look back at it, and I'm 2020, man, I was working, for that lending company, and anyways, nonetheless, like 2020, low interest rates, you're making a killing.
Crazy.
An absolute killing. And so it's crazy because like that's working for a company. Now you're going into this realm where you're your own business owner and you're trying to find a way to make $1.
Yeah.
And it's like this, it could be disheartening, man. You have like mental, like your mind is telling you like, I can't fucking make it. I'm not going to make it. And then at the same time, you're like, but I have to make it.
But I have to make it. There is no plan B.
There is no plan B.
You know what I mean? I am plan A. I am plan B for my family type of
Exactly.
shit, you know what I mean? So, and that's funny that you say that about $1 because my wife and I, Bree and I, were just talking about it the other day. It's like, dude, remember even last year, man, like not even 12 months ago.
Yeah.
But just last year alone, like we couldn't even scrape up a freaking dollar at some days. You know what I mean? Like it was tough, bro.
Bro. I mean,
To say the least.
Hey,
to say the least.
that's like just to think about where the last 3-4 months have taken us is, it's just like,
yeah.
If
we'll get to that too.
we will. I just want to say like, it's, if you're a business owner out there and you think that you're just going to make it right when you start, good luck. Really, I wish you good luck because it takes I'm gonna say it takes balls to literally get out there and not give up when you have no sales. I mean, 2023, I had no sales. Like I had one, actually, I should say.
Yeah.
But I got my license in
that one.
January of 23, and I had one sale for that whole year. And you know what it was? It was a manufactured home, and I remember the price. I always remember it was $255K. So you know
Money.
Oh yeah, that's gonna pay my mortgage for that whole year, right? I mean, just I put it.
Believe it or not, that started it all. That first deal, man.
Yeah, it did. No, it really did. And I actually talked to my client too, the first one, and she'd probably message me like once a week or twice a week. Mari, if you hear this, shout out to you. You get another shout out. But I'll never forget this, man. Like the first home you sell, like you gotta know that client, and she didn't even really know until close to the end. She was like, "Hey, is this your first home?" Yeah. Yes, it was.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, player had to fake it till he made it. It was my first home, not my first loan deal, first deal, but it was my first home, real estate. Yeah. And so, anyways, man, it's real estate's a humbling thing.
Reality's perception, I'll tell you that.
Facts.
Remember?
Yeah, 100%.
But
well, that leads me to kind of ask you, man, because you're my guest today.
Okay.
And I'm thankful. But I think it would benefit both of us for the audience to hear like kind of your story. I want to know a little bit about yourself. So like I know somewhat, but if you could explain kind of where you grew up, where you're from. I want you to talk about your sisters a little bit, and then I want you to talk about like how that kind of household works when you have all sisters, no boys, right?
Yeah, I'm the baby. Yeah, so I mean, I'll go way back, right? I was born in El Centro, so Imperial Valley. If you guys have heard of Imperial Valley, it's about 1.5 to 2 hours east of San Diego. And I grew up in Calexico. Nothing to do there, man. Just desert, right?
Right.
Desert. I would say maybe, I don't know, 4-6 miles square. Yeah, I don't know, man, but it's small. It's a small town, and
all I known it for was the outlets, like
and the food. Yeah, Mexicali across the border right there too, man. Amazing food, but no, man, just growing up, honestly, like you mentioned, my sisters. Yeah, 6 older sisters. 6 older sisters. I'm the baby. I'm the only boy.
It's 6 older, not 5.
6.
Damn.
6 older sisters. I'm the baby. But hey, ask my wife. I learned how to treat a woman right at an early age. No, I'm just kidding. But no, for real.
No, seriously.
Calexico was something, man, for sure. I mean, I grew up, obviously no iPad, no nothing like that. I was outside all day playing sports, whatever, just coming home. It wasn't until we moved to San Diego in 2001 was when I was like, dang, okay. I thought we were okay, like middle class, this and that. But nah, moving to San Diego was just a complete culture shock.
So I want you to keep going by your story, but I just quick intermission on that, or a quick pause on that. I wanted So like, what made your family move to San Diego from Calexico?
So all my sisters, or all my older sisters were already, had started their careers and everything. They were already in San Diego. So it was just myself, my parents, and one sister, the one that's the youngest sister. It was just us two and my parents. And my dad literally cashed everything out, everything he had, and moved to San Diego. I think he came here, this was 2001. He came here 2 months before we all did. Started working here, getting situated here and established here, and then he moved all of us here. Ooh. The reason for that was to have a better life, right? To be closer to family. The rest of my sisters and everyone here. My sisters had grandkids or kids, so my parents want to be around the grandkids and whatnot. But forever grateful for that, man, because who knows where I would be if I was to grow up in Calexico. Not saying that it's bad, but just I feel like there's more opportunity, obviously, in San Diego.
Right.
So forever grateful for that, of course.
Nice.
But it wasn't until I got to San Diego that I was like, wow, okay, we're not middle class. You know what I mean? Like, just it was 4 or 5 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment, right?
Oh my gosh.
Terrasana. I was out. Yeah, we moved into Terrasana, man. Beautiful town, Terrasana. But yeah.
Big military town.
Yeah.
Military.
No, really, yeah.
I would call it like a village almost.
My very first friend, military family, yeah.
And so Calexico. So then you moved to San Diego at like what age?
I was 11 years old.
11, and then you ended up growing up like Terrasana. No, pretty. I don't want to say North County, but kind of.
So we were in Terrasana the first year, maybe 2 years, I believe. Yeah, 2 years. The first 2 years, and then we moved to Mira Mesa. So
all right, shout out all my Filipinos in Mira Mesa.
Yes, sir. 92126.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's pretty much where I did my middle school. I had my middle school, high school, graduated Mira Mesa Marauder, 2008.
Nice.
And then now in Poway. So ever since 2008, we've been in Poway.
Okay, nice. And,
yeah, man.
Like everybody, well, not everybody's in Poway right now. So now your sisters are older. They moved out. They branched out. But you're still in Poway.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's in San Diego except one of my sisters. She moved back to the Valley. Actually, she bought a home in Brawley. That's right, brand new home in Brawley.
Okay. Yeah, and it's funny. Like when I think of Brawley, I think of that area, man. It is for those that aren't from Southern California. You don't know. Oh man, that is like nothing but desert out there.
Just desert and cows.
Desert
and fields,
cows, fields, and maybe a small section of like quadding and motorbikes.
Ocotillo Wells.
Yeah, Ocotillo.
But they do produce most of the agriculture here for the United States. So
California,
out of Imperial Valley.
Oh, out of Imperial Valley.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was like Central California.
I think it's like lettuce or something like that. I don't know, but I know. Yeah.
So when you're driving on the 8 and you're heading to Arizona, just know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it was Enrique's family. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you for my lettuce. Hey, easy now.
I know. I'm messing around. But all right, cool. So and then you ended up graduating a Maruta, right? So Mira Mesa High School, and then from there, right? Okay, so this is what tripped me out, right? So we're selling a home last month. Was it last month or January?
Last month, February.
Yeah, and I'm talking to Enrique in the fucking car, and this guy tells me, he says, "Oh yeah, I have a master's." I'm talking to this guy this whole time. We're over here bullshitting doing real estate.
I just had a high school diploma. That's it.
No. This guy has a master's in human
resources management, organizational management with an emphasis or specialization in human resources management.
So, what college did you go to?
It was an online university. So it was 100% online.
For 6 years, you did that, or
no? My master's was a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh,
my undergrad, I went to Marymount in LA.
Okay, you talked about that.
The private university there. So I do have my bachelor's in psychology.
Okay, bachelor's in psychology, but master's in
human resources management.
Okay,
much, yeah.
Man, that's super cool. But what's crazy?
Yeah, I don't really talk about my degrees.
Yeah, because fuck degrees when you can get a real estate license, right? And
yes, sir.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, we can save that conversation for a different day.
Yeah, but okay, so you're going to school, right? And you're busting your ass. Walk me through how after you get your master's, your bachelor's, how you get not into real estate, but Welks. Well, let's talk about Welks Resort, right? Into timeshares and those kinds of sales. Like, what led you into that kind of sales?
Well, how I got there, I had just graduated with my master's actually, and I was just lost. I was lost. I was working for a pharmaceutical company, call center, Covance. I was on the phone, cubicle, and it was just like, I have a master's degree. Like, what am I doing here, sitting in a cubicle?
Right.
You know, and then, so I had years prior, I had bought a timeshare, and then I had gone back to upgrade it. And at that time, I had my master's, and this guy just looked. His name is Fernando. Shout out to Fernando Delgado. He was my mentor at Welk Resorts, man. But
love that.
He was the manager there while I was buying, and he just very well put together, Marine veteran, looked successful. And I was like, hey man, like, do you guys really make that much money here? And he's like, yeah, and we have so much fun, and we travel, whatever. I was like, all right, I want a job. Straight up, I want a job. And then I kid you not, he calls the trainer over to the table where we're at,
No way.
Matt Machado. And
Machado?
Matt Machado.
Okay, not to be confused with
not Manny Machado.
All right.
No, like Matt Machado. I mean, whatever. He comes over, and 3 weeks later, long story short, 3 weeks later, I'm working there.
No way.
Yeah, man. And that's where my sales career started.
So
I'd never done sales before.
And that was prior to COVID, right?
Oh yeah. That was back in 2016, 2017.
So when it was hard to sell timeshares.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a walk in the park for the most part, right?
I mean, we've all heard about timeshares, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
If you're walking at the mall and this guy is standing at a booth, be careful because you might get sold. All right? I'm just warning.
Hey, but that's how I did all my travel. You look at my Instagram, they work.
Hey, that is true. No, honestly, that is true. If you get the right timeshare,
Yes.
you're making the right move. Like, and especially if you and your wife love to travel, or if you want to travel on your own.
And I'm forever grateful for that career there too, man. That opportunity there, because I met some amazing people there too, man. Amazing people.
Oh, well, can I don't know if you mind me talk about the referrals that come from it, but
And then there's that too.
yeah, shout out if you watch this, thank you.
Thank you.
Because the referrals that you guys send this guy bless me and my family too. And thank you for that, by the way.
I mean, of course. I mean, and it's because we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you wanted to talk about real estate too, which we'll get to, but like I mentioned, I did meet some amazing people, and that actually one guy that's really sticks out is Roland Blunt. Yes, that is his name.
Roland Blunt. Oh, that's right. Roland Blunt. You told me that.
He was actually my mentor there. Like, he was like my life coach and my mentor there at timeshares too. But no, man, a lot of my fatherhood now that I practice and do with Alea comes from Roland.
No way.
Yeah.
Like because he imparted like wisdom to you, or what was
Indirectly.
Okay.
He was never preaching fatherhood on me. I mean, I wasn't expecting at the time when I was working there. I mean, when I first met Roland or anything like that, but he was always just indirectly, the videos he would post on vacation with his daughter, the way he talked about his daughter, the way everything, man. Like once a week, he would always take her out on Wednesdays, I believe it was, just do daddy-daughter date, like lunch dates. Takes her out of school early or something like that, or she had it early, something like that, half day. Yeah, every Wednesday. Never failed.
Dude, I love how you can meet, like especially in the field of real estate, or really anything that gets you out of the house to work, right? You meet cool people, and those cool people, they impart certain things to you.
Of course.
It's funny because like I was one of those guys, right? That I always thought like, man, I'd love to have a son, right? I don't care who you are, every man, you want your name to live on, you want to have a son, right? But there is something about that stuck with me right now with what you said about him having a father-daughter date once a week, right? That sticks with me. Like when you're a boy dad, it's cool, right? Because you get to dress your little homie up, you get to take him out, show him game.
Fall down, all right, get up.
Yeah.
Get up, little homie.
Teach him game. But when you have a daughter, it's a whole different I don't want to tear up, but you have a whole different mental state towards your daughter. You're right. You want to treat her right. And that's actually, if I could say too, that's part of the reason we wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't for me seeing how you treat your wife and your daughter. We wouldn't,
And I know we've had this conversation before, right? Where it's like, where I've told you, and now I'm going to tell you where it came from. But you've heard me say this before, where it's like, you want to teach her daughter you teach your daughter her worth, right? Standards, because you don't want her to fall in love with the first loser she meets.
Yeah,
first gangster just because he's a pretty boy, whatever. Like, nah, there's got to be some standards there. You know what I mean? Like, all that came from Roland, man. You hear me say this all the time, but all that came from Roland.
Dude, I need to meet this guy. I really do. No, I
just the things he does, man. Like, sorry, Roland, for exposing you, but I mean, it's on his Facebook. But it's just stuff like that, man. I mean, like, his goal was, before his daughter turned 13, was to take her to every single Disney around the world.
No way.
Her and his wife, right?
Well, when you got a timeshare like that, you can pull
And
that
that's
off.
the thing, right? Like he just taught me a lot about fatherhood.
Man, and that so, and I hear this a lot because I work with Enrique every freaking day, right? So I get to hear a lot about this. But the fact that you could take your daughter and your wife and just say, all right, hey, world, like we'll put you on pause. You and I, let's go on a trip, right? Obviously, I'm sure that was a big selling point for you when you got into it. And
of course.
then obviously, that was your big selling point when you started. Closing deals and whatnot. So I want to kind of transition. Like, talk to me about your. I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Oh, talk to me about your best year there. Right. What were some of the negotiating tactics? What were some of the things you would, some heartstrings you would pull on to help you be successful at selling timeshares?
At Walk Resorts?
Yeah.
Just be me.
I love that.
Just be me, man. Yeah, we had a script, of course. Like when you first start in timeshare, at least with that company, we had a 6-week training period where you actually had certified out of training. So you had to learn the script, So of course we learned it, but just to certify out of that class. And you follow it, but you tweak it to be yourself, right? So that was the hardest thing for me. Was I was like, well, man, all these people are like selling this and that, and I was just like following the script line by line, and it's like that's not me. I'm just sounding like a robot, whatever. But yeah, man, it was just that was the hardest thing for me, just adjusting it and making it my own pitch in a way. But it wasn't even a pitch, man. I was like us, just having conversations right now. This is how you've seen me in real estate. You've seen me in open houses. You've seen me at showings.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's just a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just a conversation.
And
and you're picking all those nuggets out from from having that conversation instead of like interrogating somebody with like a clipboard and just have a conversation. When you're alone for a few minutes, then write down all those nuggets, you know what I mean? Like, or type them in your notes or something. Right. Don't forget them. But you get just from a conversation, you get all the nuggets you need.
That's very true.
That's why you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen. Listen.
Enrique, the wisdom giver right now.
No. Just a lot of trial and error.
It's true though. I love that. I'm gonna adopt that. So God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. That's so true.
Gotta stop and listen.
Word to me. I got to do that too. No, I'm serious, man. It's in real estate, in sales, I should say, right? I read this book in the past. It was called like How to Win Friends and Influence People. And when you're in the process of selling people or doing sales, right? Yeah. People will, you want to let your client talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And it's funny because as they're talking, they're investing time into you. They're setting their own hook in you just because you're listening. Mm-hmm. So it's funny. I look back and I say the same thing when I was doing with loans, talking to people all across the country, and people are you don't know them from wherever they're coming from, right? But it all applies, right? You just listen and be you.
That's it.
If you're another plug to like entrepreneurs or business owners, like if you want to really sell the hell out of your business, be unapologetically yourself. Like, don't even fake. You can fake the funk. That's fine. But if a client is not meant to be your client, it's not really going to work out. So be it. There's plenty of other fish in the sea.
We've had to fire clients before.
Yeah.
We've had to fire clients. It wasn't a good mesh. Like we didn't mesh well.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But so you end up killing it in timeshares. 2020 happens. COVID, big fucking boom for everybody. And at some point you leave Welk, right? You leave Welk Resorts, selling timeshares. You got your real estate license. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming. So you get your real estate license through doing timeshares? I was at
Welk Resorts, yes, because you get paid more if you have your real estate license.
Okay.
So I strictly got my real estate license just to make more money at Welk Resorts or selling timeshare. Period.
So real estate selling homes wasn't even on your mind. No. You knew you could do it.
And we're talking what? 3 years ago?
Okay.
Like I wasn't even thinking about doing real estate. I just had my real estate license because I was making almost double the amount of money as if I wouldn't have my license, So I was like, why not get my license?
Exactly.
But yeah, after I left, man, in February of 23, I was just at home. I was living in Valley Center at the time. We were renting that big ass house. It when I first started at Shopping SD Houses, man. But I was just sitting at home in the living room, and I remember I got a text message from like an old acquaintance friend, you know, who is now pretty much family, became family. And he's like, hey, do you know anything about buying a house, this and that? I was like, I have my real estate license. I can help you.
Oh, I love that.
So I just took it upon myself, and I spoke to some friends, and that's how I was a friend, Diane Margarini. Shout out to you.
I've actually met her once.
And you did meet her at an open house.
I met her. No. It was I had a client. Oh, it was our client. It was Sol. So
that's right.
Yeah. So she wanted to go and look at. She was looking at homes first, and then so I go and I check out this house, and I end up talking to this lady, and she's like, "Oh, you know Enrique?" I'm like, "Yes."
Damn, like that. Okay, Diane.
I was messing around. But I was like, yeah, I do know Enrique. Enrique is actually my business partner. We sell a lot of homes together. And anyway, shout out to you, Diane.
Yeah. So she plugged me in with Piero.
Okay. Nice.
She had known Piero for 30 years, whatnot. So yeah, next day I'm at Piero's office, man, with my client there, and it didn't work out right with him. But it got me. That's what got me into real estate.
Nice. So and I came along. How long after you had joined? Well, Shopping SD.
You came along maybe like a month and a half after I joined.
Oh, okay, so
I had just joined, dude. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I was brand new. Yeah.
I remember, and shout out Carlos if you hear this. Shout out Angel.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Davey.
Big shout out to Davey for sure.
Kevin, all you big top dogs,
all you team leads, all the
Justin,
mentors there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we respect and love you guys and appreciate you guys for what you pass down on us, because honestly, we see your lives and see philanthropy, and fuck it, man, we want that too.
And again, it's a lot of it is indirectly too.
Yeah,
because they're all busy with their businesses. I mean, yeah, they're mentors, they're leaders, they're team leads, but they have a business to run of their own too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But indirectly, for example, Justin, how much time does he not spend with his wife? And he's killing it in the real estate game.
Yeah.
Like indirectly, show me that there is a damn balance in this game. You know what I mean? Like same with Davey, with the way he's still, I mean, this guy wakes up and doesn't sleep. You know, he never sleeps.
Bro,
he's always on the go.
Davey is one of the most humble people.
Oh God.
I hope he hears this. I fucking really hope this. Davey is a really humble guy. And he relates to us too, because he's a girl dad.
He's a girl dad too.
Yeah. And that just hits different too. But yeah, plug to Shopping SD really quick.
Shopping SD Houses, man, for sure.
Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do for us. The plug and play opportunity for us to close deals and kill it. It means a lot to people like Enrique and I that are now flourishing, right?
Absolutely.
But
like I said, I'll repeat it again. We paid our dues, man, for almost 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're in real estate, you got to pay your dues. You got to sweat your balls off at an open house. You're going to have to walk the street, go pick up your signs. You're going to have to, it's long days, man. It's long
Very
days.
long days.
You'll end up in Riverside to Los Angeles County, down to San Diego, then back to Imperial, then back, all in a day. It's, we're not construction workers, but fuck, man, our mind is mentally screwed at the end of the day.
Drained, man, exhausted.
So, but yeah, to get back on track. So Shopping SD Houses happens. So you're with Piero. Actually, how do you get from Piero to Shopping SD?
So I'm with Piero, and then I tell her, hey, I'm with Piero. And she's like, but you're not with Shopping SD Houses. And I was like, gotcha. No, I don't know who that is or what that is. And she calls Piero and tells Piero, hey, he needs to be with Shopping SD Houses. He needs to be with Carlos.
Love it.
Yes, I do. I don't know what that meant, but I was like, yes, I do. So the very next day, I'm there in the office meeting Angel Flores. Beast. Yeah. I don't know what else I can say about this guy, man.
I mean, dude, the crazy
one of the biggest hearts. This guy has one of the biggest hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
And he's a beast.
It was kind of crazy to me the way I found out. So Angel and I had mutuals, but we didn't know each other, obviously. But it's crazy to think about it. Like, you never know who you'll bump into. But yeah, shout out Angel. He man, I wish I met you when we were both single.
Bro, I went.
We would have thrown crazy parties.
I remember, actually, funny story about that. I remember when I first started, Angel was kind of like my mentor, but that guy's just so busy. Mm-hmm. He was so busy, you know what I mean? But now he's got like his systems down, everything. So now he has time to like mentor the shit out of all these mentees, you know what I mean? But I remember we're talking about, because he comes from, some of his struggles too, right? And he's like, take a screenshot of your bank account right now.
I love that.
And I still have that screenshot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because of the negatives. This was like 3-4 months after starting real estate.
Hey, no,
you know what I mean?
No bullshit. My first introduction to Angel Flores, he walks in the office, right? Opens the door wide open. I swear to you, he opens the door wide open. He has a check in his hand, and he was like, look at my fucking check.
I'm rich, bitch.
You go crazy. And I was just like, damn.
XRP.
I'm like, that's what instantly hooked me. It was like, he's like, you see, dude, it's funny because it's like, dude, you got to understand his personality character, man. But he walked in and he was like, what does that check say? I'm a new agent. He goes, what does that check say?
Yep, that's Angel for you.
I'm like, oh man, dude, I'm in the right
But it's not
place.
bragging. It's
No,
not bragging.
It's hard work, dude.
But he's also showing you what you can do.
What you can do, yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people could take that the wrong way, man. For me, I took it and I took that and I learned, and I'm like, man, I want to have a nice fucking life like that.
Yep.
The cash checks like that.
Straight up. I mean, what was that one? I don't know if you've heard the saying, but I just recently heard this, and it was like, when you go and sit 20 feet next to top producers.
Oh, you sent me that.
Yep. Right? Next to, like 20 feet next to top producers, you're instantly going to increase your business, your production by 15%.
1,000%.
Instantly.
1,000%.
Without you even knowing, right?
Yep.
Just being around that. However, on the opposite side, if you're sitting 20 feet from, those who produce less and whatnot, aren't really putting in their all, you actually decrease your production by 30%.
Facts.
So instead of going up 15%, you're actually going backwards 30%. That's insane.
It's insane.
So when they say about pick your circle, choose your circle,
oh yeah,
it's true.
My parents growing up, they had always taught me. They said, my dad, famous saying, you are who you associate yourself with. My dad would always tell me that, and he would say it to other people too. You are who you associate yourself with, right? It's like that saying. Man, it's dropping my mind right now. But when you associate with evil, you're in the presence of evil, right? That's what people are gonna think of you as, right? And so, nah, man, it's so true. Like, there's been a lot of friends that I've had to drop, a lot of friends, and I'm sure, fuck them, they dropped me too. But I at the end of the day, we have different areas, avenues we're going to. I want better for my wife and my daughter, and I want to have a nice life. And I'm unapologetic about that, right? Other people, they want to have a simple life. They want to work the career, they want to retire, and then that's it. And that's good for them. There's no problem. We could still be friends.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I'm in my avenue with where I'm going. I'm keeping my close people with me, and then everybody else can fall to the wayside. I don't give a shit.
I'm with that too, man. I mean, recently, I had a conversation with two of my friends too. It's like, hey, like, where you at? You're MIA, whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I am MIA, but I still love you guys.
Yeah.
I still love you guys. I'm just taking a step back because, last year, right, was a pretty decent year in real estate for me, at least for like my first full year in real estate. It didn't feel like it.
Right.
Because even though, I was getting sales and everything, it was a game of catch up, man, all of last year, most of last year.
Right.
It's like, fuck, like I just got tired of that. And it's like, I thought it was going to be, like, after every deal, it's like, I'm breaking out of it. Nah, hell no.
Dude, the one person that deserves a shout out in this one company, I should say, that deserves a shout out throughout this is Uber, because let me tell you, bro, I kid you not, with real estate starting off, you feel like you're getting ahead, right? And it's you may feel like it, but oh my goodness, you're like, you can be underwater in a second.
Just as quick as you make that commission check.
It's like
dot.
Yeah, because you don't know when your paychecks are coming, right? But you also, the flip side to that is you're cashing big checks.
Yeah.
When you get them.
But then again, you're around that circle that is consistently
killing it,
producing. It's like,
Yes.
that's me. I'm gonna be that. I am gonna be that.
Well, and that's why I say too. So this guy's my partner for a reason, because there's synergy. You want, when you're in the business and you find a partner, you have synergy, and that synergy that leads into bigger and better things.
Yeah. What is your why?
My why,
Right off the bat, boom.
My daughter, my wife,
Same.
my home.
And I know that.
Yep.
And I know that. You know what I mean? We our whys align.
Yep.
Our goals align.
Yep.
What we want in life, in our careers, it's crazy. Like, it all aligns, man. Like, it's insane.
I was just telling Divine, baby, I love you if you hear this. All right, I think last podcast I didn't give you a shout out.
He loves you.
Yeah, no, Divine's just as big of a hustler as I am because she, Air Force, killed it in the Air Force, got out honorably, killed it at Nike, was pregnant with my daughter. Thank you for giving birth to our child.
Oh yeah,
and holding
it's a beautiful
her.
thing.
But she was doing nursing school those 2 full years, man, that I'm doing real estate. So it's like, you want to talk about getting ahead. Holy shit, man. I'm like paying bills, and as fast as the money's coming in my hand, it's gone. I'm like, for almost a year and a half, 2 years, I'm treading negative and zero. There's not anything above that. And then all my credit cards are maxed out. Another thing too, you want to make it in real estate.
Speaking my language.
I just posted this. It was like Ice Cube was saying, like, don't get into a business or don't get into being a business owner if you're not ready to not make money for 5 years. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like, thankfully I made it in 2.
Yeah.
I'm making it in 2, and I'm not even done. I'm not finished progress, but holy man, like it's.
No.
Yeah. Sorry. I know I went sideways on that.
No, but it all aligns with everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
The struggles, right?
Yeah. The struggles, man. Now I want to talk about like maybe some of the better things that have been happening, right? So lately we've been, real estate, we've been closing some deals, been getting some hype. I think the best, honestly, I think the best is yet to come. I see a vision where like our life is like closing 10 deals a month, and not even batting an eye. I see that.
I mean, that's honestly feels like it's around the corner. The way our business is going right now. I mean, truthfully grateful for everything that's happened to us in the last 3 months.
I know it's like,
I would say since that big news in December, man.
Yeah.
That big news in December where just my whole career, our whole career turned around.
Yeah, big time.
I would say karma.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just made sure she was beautiful this time.
Yes, karma is a bitch.
But
beautiful.
Straight up, man. I mean, it is what it is, right? I'm just gonna keep rolling with it and keep doing good. I mean, honestly, we just said this in the group chat with the team too. Most of my business and our business lately has been referrals. You mentioned earlier too. That's insane.
For this market, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Market,
like
yeah.
80-90% of our deals have been referrals thus far this year.
Hence the reason.
And we've already sold more than we did all of last year. And it's only March.
Right. Hence the reason. That's why I like personally, and I know you're doing this too, because like I said, it's synergy. But this is the reason why I've focused so much on my branding, because and this is the reason I left being a loan officer. Nobody ever remembers their loan officer. Maybe few do, but nobody remembers their loan officer. But one thing they remember is when I hand those fucking keys over to that person that just bought their house. They always remember that. So this year, all I needed, it took 1-2 deals for me to do this, but just start focusing on my own branding. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, that little logo, I created that on AI, man. Like
the sombrero.
It looks funny, it looks corny, but man, I'm telling you, like, people like it, people rock it, people love it.
People remember it.
And the marketing like that we do behind our business, like, great. I hope all of San Diego fucking sees that. I want that to be a San Diego household, like, oh my gosh, I sold my home with June. The little funny guy with the sombrero, like, oh my God.
Coming to a supercharging station.
Coming to a supercharger near you. I got stickers in the car, fuckers. But like, I'm serious. It's branding. Coca-Cola branding, Pepsi branding, Walmart brand. I could say it over. Yeah, and if I say it, you could probably even name the symbol that it is.
Well, that's why we invest back into our business, right?
100%.
Hence the key days. Hence our open houses. We go all out with our open houses. We'll do backyard boogies.
Yeah, for just to get
tacos,
some people
hot
out there.
dogs, and it's an open house. It's not a party. It's an open house. We make it a party.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, people will remember us, and will remember our colors, our names, our logos, everything.
I look back right now, like my first days walking into the office at in National City, right, shopping SD, and I look back and I felt like the world was up against my back, right? Like, was literally, I like Eminem, like, sometimes I feel like the world's on my shoulder. Like, it felt like that when I started, because I'm walking into unknown territory. I'm a 23-year-old kid. I want real estate. I got the moxie. I know deep down in my personality, but it's just like bills. bills. Like, and what matters most, right? Do you want to lose your home? Do you want to lose your wife, your family over it? Or do you want to suffer and somehow find a way? And so I think that's why our story is such a true testament, man. Because you know, this last December, like, no worries, man. Karma's gonna come back, right? And who knows? Like, sometimes people leave, people do other things, right? Maybe real estate's not for you. Maybe you're just being fed leads. I'll say it. You don't give a fuck. You know, you sometimes you're fed deals, but at the end of the day, like, for me personally, like, hey, I believe in organic. I believe in natural because that's what is a sustainable business for the end goal.
For the end goal, yes, for the long run, for sure.
Yeah, man.
I mean, leads are cool, man. Leads are cool because if you do need that little push start or that little momentum go-getter type of thing, that's cool, for sure, man. I mean,
you got to open your first deal somehow, right? Exactly. I mean, if you get a lead and you learn from it, great. But I always...
that's the biggest thing right there. You have to learn from it.
Yeah, if you don't learn from it, then you fuck yourself.
And what's the whole point of it?
Yeah.
The money's not the point.
That's why
it's the knowledge.
How many times have I told you, I'm like, hey, I didn't get my real estate license to fucking close deals with other people. No disrespect. I mean, we're going to close deals.
Hey.
No, we're building
I know what you mean,
building,
for
and
sure.
I'm sacrificing that for the bigger picture. But we've talked about it too, where like, okay, at some point, you and I are going to close deals on our own. We're going to close separate deals. And that's more than okay because there's enough fucking money to go around.
Dude, yeah.
More than enough money to go around. But what the fuck did I get my real estate license for if I'm not out here closing deals myself? June the Realtor. Like, what did I get my license for? It's silly. So...
Because now people aren't coming to you because of you. They're coming to you because someone gave you that file.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just talking to Angel about this recently. I was like, man, how many deals have you closed like yourself recently? And he was like, man, I just closed like 5, dude. And I'm like, oh, dude, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's the kind of vision that I have instilled in this big dome. I was like, I want to have my own deals I close. I want to be able to feed other people, help them grow.
Of course. And that's my end goal.
Keep it going.
My end goal is to do just that, man.
Yep.
I mean, grow my portfolio as well, grow my book of business, of course. But the end goal is to do what our mentors are currently doing for us, is to be able to do that for the new mentees coming in.
100%.
Whether it's 3 years, whether it's 5 years from now, whether it's 1 year from now.
100%.
That's the end goal for me.
100%.
Make sure my family's taken care of. And then pretty much give back. Or,
give back.
You know.
Like today, it was the funniest thing. We were talking about it earlier, but I linked with Ryan Anthony. Shout out Ryan Anthony. If you watch this, I'll send this to you too. But I think it's the coolest thing, man. Like why? Okay, you live this life, you make a lot of money, great. But you know, like it's nice to give back to people, man. Of course. It's just, you know, you're blessed based on the amount you give. I feel, right? I feel like the more you give, the more you're blessed.
But it's also a representation of yourself.
It is.
If you train someone, if you mentor someone, and they do just as well as you, if not, they exceed what you did. I mean, what better representation of you than that?
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. No, man, it's a blessing. Real estate's been like such a topsy-turvy, curvy, windy road, man. It's been a blessing to learn. Yeah. Like I said, starting off, it wasn't fun. I mean, it wasn't fun because we weren't cashing the checks. Now it's like, man, okay, some of the checks are starting to get cashed, and it's like, okay, I can really be myself. And it's like we have a deal coming up that's really it's like, man, we're hoping that this deal goes through because it would be our first real estate life-changing moment, right?
Yes.
So it's not easy though.
Yeah, it's around the corner. It's like right there, but it has not been easy, man. It's been half a year now?
Yeah. Not every lead, sometimes it takes a while to cultivate.
But that's the thing. You have to be able to have that type of patience.
Oh yeah.
If you see that angle, or if you see that possibility for this client to reach that goal that they did have. Yeah. Because at the beginning, or maybe if you ask other realtors, they'd be like, no, this client's never reaching that goal. This client's never getting that house that he wants.
Yeah.
Or he or she wants. Like, no. But we stayed positive and optimistic, and look, we're making it happen.
You. because
hey, but that's why we work together.
No, but that's why we work together.
Because I got to check you sometimes too.
Yeah,
you check me, I check you.
No, like even me in my life, man, I'll say this as a grown ass man, I'm not above the law. I am not above any one person, and I will listen to a 5-year-old because I think a 5-year-old can teach me something more than a 45-year-old can.
Absolutely.
You can't be too prideful to hear other people's opinions and digest it.
And no matter their background or their industry, whatever, like you're bound to learn something from everybody, just about anybody.
Oh yeah.
So,
nah, man, it's
firm believer of that.
It's a blessing. We've made it this far. It really is.
And we're still learning.
Oh,
and we're still learning as we go, man. Like,
yeah. We have a lot of
you gotta stay green. You
Yeah.
gotta stay green, because if you don't, you rot. So
that's right. You got to stay fresh. That's why I love right now. My biggest thing is for the organic stuff. Like, I'm be unapologetically me online. That's as organic as it's gonna get. And
that's it.
People have been reaching out and whatnot. You know, one thing I do, I want to cut away from maybe real estate. I want to talk about, I guess it could fall under real estate too, but mentorship, right? Like, this is another plug I want to give. I want to take the time to do it. You hear me throughout the week, and when we're driving up to Riverside or wherever, and I'm on the phone, I'm taking calls from my uncle, and I hope he hears this. I'm going to send it to him so he can. But you know, I don't get
Shout out to Unc.
Yeah, Uncle Nino. I don't get to June the Realtor. I don't get through to where I am today without your persistence, perseverance. There's no June the Realtor without Uncle Nino, because Uncle Nino, he was the original realtor that broke ground for me way before I was even hit puberty, man. Like for my balls dropped. he Uncle Nino, if you hear this, I love you. I did not give you I was nervous my last podcast, guys. I'm sorry, but I didn't give you enough flowers, but I want to give it to you here because he was my first agent when I bought my house, right? And he would tell me all the time, he'd say, you know what, June, I want you to not leave your job. He would tell me all the time, you fucking stay there. Stay put, don't move. And he would say, he knows this, I'll tell you when you can leave. That's what he would tell me.
Damn.
When I was telling him, I'm gonna leave here, I'm getting irritated. I'm tired.
I remember those phone calls too.
Yeah, I'm tired of this job. This guy would tell me, he'd say, sit your ass down, you stay there. And that's what I mean. I don't want to say like, he's like my dad. He's literally is my godfather. But I guess my point to you would be like, who is that person in your life that you can run to, and that you can be like, hey, you know what? Mentor-wise, that you can run to and be like, hey, you know, what do I do in this situation as a man? I love business. I love my family. What do I do here?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the answer is obvious to you, but I mean, it would be Davey. Honestly, it would be Davey, man. He's like a brother to me. He truly is like a brother to me. I mean, talking about mentorship, the word itself, the word itself. I'll take it back to Father's Day of last year. Remember, we had our event for our Shopping SD Houses event at Mr. Temple, a brunch for all the families and everything. After that event is when Davey and I met up at his house in his backyard, just shooting the shit. You know, our daughters are playing in his backyard and everything, so it's pretty cool. But that's when I asked him to be my mentor. Like, I straight up asked him, because I mentioned my mentors at Walk Resorts and whatnot like that, but that was like more like an indirect mentorship. They didn't even know they were mentoring me. But with Davey, like, I had to ask. Like, I didn't have to ask him. I wanted to ask him to be my mentor because, again, going back to everything we mentioned already, everything that he was doing as a family man, running his business, and some.
Yeah.
It's like, when do you stop, man? How do you find the time to do all this stuff? And I'm sure everyone on the team, his wife, Joanna, like, they're all are wondering the same thing. You know what I mean? But, like, I just see that and it's like, that's who I want to be.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I mean, he's one of the top dogs in the industry, in the real estate, all of San Diego, California, I would say. But he doesn't stop.
No.
And that's in January. We're actually touring some homes for a client, and he's like, hey, man, I need you to make me one promise. I was like, what's that? I mean, of course, you know, this was 2 months ago. He's like, you have a lot of momentum right now. You're killing it, this and that, right? You can't let your foot off the pedal. I will not allow that. And if you do, I'll be very disappointed. I was like, damn, this is my brother telling me this.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah, bro. It's like, we're outside staring at his ADU that he's building, his 2-story ADU. And he's telling me this. And it's like, how can you not when you're staring at what he's building? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I haven't. And that's just going to stick with me, man. Like, it's so easy. I mean, come on. We've struggled. We've struggled. now we have this pipeline. It's so easy to say, I got some money coming.
Yeah.
Let's just chill.
I
go to Palm Springs for a week.
I've never understood that logic, man. It's just not wired in my DNA.
I'm guilty of that, man.
Really?
Yeah. That's why, I had a great career at Welk Resorts, man.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, I blew that money. I wish I had some sort of direct mentorship, and because I'd never learned about financing. I never learned about budgeting.
Man, I think sometimes, and this, again, shout out Uncle Nino, even shout out my dad if you hear this. Like, one thing that these guys had taught me, man, growing up in business to an extent, like, there's no, like, it's crazy. Like, seeing money, big checks was never like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, but it's crazy because I just never thought about that, man. I've never like, oh yeah, let me sell this house and then I'm going to take 6 months off. I couldn't, man. Because we've been talking about this a lot lately. You get so addicted to the chase of a deal, sales in general, work. Like, I don't know how, whenever I die, I'm going to die probably working, like straight up. But that's how I am, man. That's how
I'll keep an eye on that.
There's no such thing as retirement for me. I just never thought about that. But it's good that you have a mentor like Davey to put his foot in your ass and tell you, light you up and be like, hey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. It's so easy to just say, hey, like, fuck it. I can take a week off. I can take 2 weeks off, but no, because then it's easy to fall into that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be even harder to get back on track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, nah, man, you got to keep going.
Real estate, man.
Fuck it. It doesn't matter how many checks you got coming. It doesn't matter. Keep going.
Real estate, bro. When I got into it, I remember I told Divine, I said, I'm giving you a warning right now. I'm going to adopt this as my lifestyle. It's not work to me. It's a lifestyle to me. Like, I take a phone call at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I'm talking to you till fucking 1 or 2 in the morning sometimes, texting, hey, what do you think we should do about this or that or whatever? Because, dude, we got shit we got to do, but it's life to me. It's just life. And if you love what you do, you never work.
You know what's crazy about that? What you just said right now, you giving her that heads up, right? Heads up. Back to the first year joining Shopping SD Houses. I believe it was Carlos's birthday party. Everyone's having a good time, whatever. But my wife is there, Bree's there, and this is the first time like most of the team is meeting Bree, right? But bro, like when we left that night, I don't know how many times she told me, "Wow, I didn't know they all saw you like that." And it's like, what? What do you mean? Like, yeah, they all see how hard you work. They all see this and that. Like, they all see you're gonna make it. They were all hyping me up, and I wasn't even like present when she was talking to them. You know what I mean? It's like, and she was actually like Davey, Andres Garcia, from Temecula. Yeah, dude, it's just like that's a beautiful thing in my opinion. Like, they were giving her the heads up kind of on my behalf, but also seeing the drive that I had.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that when I first started real estate. You know what I mean? Because when I first started real estate, I came from, doing pretty well at timeshare. Coming to real estate, I was like, I did timeshare. Real estate's going to be easy.
Right.
Hell no. Let me tell you.
Oh, man.
That was humbling for sure, man. But yeah, it was just nice that other people, mentors, leaders, team leads, see that in you.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I love when we go to, one thing I could, if I can mention this, when we've gone to Riverside lately, you deal with a lot of people that are not your skin color when they're agents, right? You deal with a lot of people that have been in the game for 30 years. We heard the song and dance. But, one thing I love, man, is I love the fact that we're minorities. And I'm not trying to pull like the whole like but but I'm saying like I love the fact that we're minorities and we're doing it for the raza, we're doing it for our people here in Southern California, right? We're giving helping out. And one of the things that we have, I think, the most fun with is first time homeowners.
Homebuyers, yeah.
First time homebuyers, man. It's like
they're the most grateful.
Yeah,
they're the most grateful.
When somebody has a home already,
they think they know it all.
They know it all, and they've done it before.
I mean, how many times have we dealt with clients? It's like, no, I don't need a buyer consultation. I bought multiple homes.
Yeah,
and then
but you learn something.
You're asking me questions that you should already know because you already purchased multiple homes. You know what I mean? But
I think that's what makes
things change.
Davey so successful. Davey's so successful because Davey was a teacher, man. Just a very patient guy, teacher. From what he told me, he's like, my family grew up in the fields, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a humbling experience in and of itself.
His father still works in the fields.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know that. That's fucking
That's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like props to that, like respect to that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
The mentors that we have in our lives are crazy. Like you've heard this week, my uncle is like 50, or he was in 25 lawsuits. Now he's down to one, right? 25 lawsuits down to one, and he's won them all.
that's insane.
Yeah,
Wow.
Walking away. I mean, when you have so much debt against you, lawyer fees, everything, you feel like you've lost everything. The court has frozen your accounts.
Back against the wall.
Yeah, and we were just talking. Me and him were just chopping it up the other day. We were talking about like, damn, it's because I got like $50,000 of fucking credit card debt because I wanted to become a realtor my first year, right? My uncle,
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna say the number, but let's just say it's way more substantial than that, and the definition of persistence, man. Like I appreciate the men, and the men in our lives that push us.
Yeah.
Because we need it. I don't care if you're 80 years old. You need people around you. You need people around you to guide you.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're not pretty much, yeah, you need that guidance for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you didn't get it at an early age. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't get it at an early age, now you have to go and seek that help.
You have to
seek
find
that
it,
information, seek that knowledge. You know what I mean? And I feel like me growing up, it was like $1 earned, $2 spent.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's what I grew up knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like saving, who saves money?
It's funny. Now you're coming from I always talk about it's like a poverty mentality. Not some of us are born into it.
Yeah.
We don't know any better.
And respectfully, I feel like that's respectfully.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love my parents and not throwing shade at my parents whatsoever.
No.
Love them. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what it was. They didn't know any better.
Right.
We didn't know any better.
Well, first, second generation Americans here, we could do something, third
Absolutely.
generation.
We live and we learn.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been a great pod. Are we doing good on time? Oh, we're good. All right. Well, we had a great pod.
Yes, sir.
For those, I kind of want to do like Josh did this last time. I thought it was super cool, man. But if you're a man out there, woman too, but if nobody talks about mental health enough.
Oh, yeah.
We've had our bouts of mental disruption, I'll call it, of just feeling like you're worthless or not enough, and you're in the grind and everything's fight or flight. But
World's caving in.
But like, man, if you're out there and you hear this and you want some love, like call me, text me. You can add me on
Absolutely.
Instagram at June the Realtor. We care about people's souls at the end of the day, man.
Yes,
it's
sir.
not just homes. We want to do good for the world, and
that's one thing that we like to preach with each other as well. Like I've had some rough weeks recently, and call this guy. I'll vent. I'll cry. It doesn't matter. But I got to get ready for the next move. Got to get ready for the next client. It doesn't matter. So just have that person that you can hold accountable to check you, to be there for you. For sure. It's very important.
Hell yeah, man. Well, appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me.
Fucking love you.
Fucking
Thank
fun,
you,
man. Love you too.
We'll do it again.
Yes, sir.
I got to get through a whole list of people. For those that are watching, just know I'm coming for you. 2025, Josh hyped me up last time, but 2025 is about to be a crazy year. I'm coming for every dollar I can, and I'm coming for every person that I can help.
We'll get our matching rollies.
We're going to get our matching rollies by the end of the year. Maybe we'll do that next podcast, and we'll have matching rollies on.
And we'll just show it off.
We'll just, you know what I mean?
I'm ready for that one.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.